Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is inspired by this little penguin here, which is an Anthropologie Christmas ornament. And using the following items here, this felt that I previously purchased, and also scissors and a glue gun, as well as this little Snoopy who is going to be dismantled. You'll just see how I'm going to take him completely apart for this project. And this is in participation with the Christmas Vignette Challenge hosted by This and That with Denise Jordan. And her channel is linked below, as well as the playlist, so you can see what everyone else did for their Christmas vignette. And I'm going again with my neutral decor, so just wanted to participate in this. I think Denise has a great channel. I hope you check it out and feel free to subscribe. So as you see here, I'm just taking this little Snoopy apart. I'm gluing down the little places where the legs and arms came from, just to seal that up. And this is going to be the body of my penguin. And I took out some of the stuffing inside, and now I'm just removing some of the string because this is going to be the head of the penguin. And I'm taking off part of Snoopy's head to create this little round puff. And I'm just gluing some of those places to seal it in. And just tightening that up to try to make it a circle. So I'm using this yarn that I had already purchased for something else, and I'm just wrapping that around the head of this, or basically the neck of the penguin, and I'm tying that really tight. And I did the same process with the gluing, just to hold everything together, and now just cutting off the excess parts, and then I'm going to just glue these pieces together. So into the neck part, I'm just going to insert that right into the body of the penguin. And now I'm creating the little costume that he has on, I guess a little gray sweater or whatever. So I'm just gluing this down for the light gray felt and wrapping it nicely, cutting off the excess and gluing that on the back, and then cutting off the bottom part to fold this in for where the feet are going to be. And Denise decided to add a little bit of a challenge to this vignette. So it has to be on a tray. It also has to have some words to it. And it also, she asked if anyone wanted to add a penguin. So I just went right in with this penguin idea. And I'm using the little Snoopy ear to create the that little strip of black part on the penguin's head. So I'm just gluing that down after I shaped it the way I thought it looked best. Just giving you an idea of how that's looking, and gluing down the back part, and then trimming off those little straggly ends. And then I doubled these little circles to create an area for the nose. I'm just trimming that down, and I'm going to glue that in place as well. So this is how he's looking. And then I cut these little tiny little dots for eyes, and I'm just making some indents with a pencil and using tweezers and a tiny dot of hot glue for the eyes. So he has some eyes now. There he is. And now I'm taking another piece of Snoopy's little ears, and I'm putting a little stuffing in, and these are going to be his little feet. So I'm gluing the stuffing into that, and then just placing it where it's going to go. And I'm using hot glue for everything. Now I'm going to his arms, so I'm just measuring out 2 pieces to be pretty much as identical as possible, and just gluing it in to make it a little bit thicker. And that's his arm. It's going to be pressed down at his side, so I'm just adding a dab of glue to the bottom part where his hand would be, or his little end of his fin, really. And then the other flapper or fin is going to be on this side. This one I'm going to keep loose though. And now I'm taking the darker felt, and I'm just gluing a little strip and doubling it up so that this can be a scarf. And trimming some of the excess here, and then tying it around his neck. And then I'm just going to glue this in place, and then cut off some of the ends before I do that. So I'm just rounding out the ends of the scarf so it can match a little better to the actual ornament that I'm copying, and then here I'm gluing it down. So that little scarf did have some stripes of off-white or so. So I had this felt, and I'm just cutting off this big piece. I'm going to put this to the side because I'll be using that later. And then I'm just going to cut a small little strip here, which will be adding the small pieces to the ends of the scarf area, and then trimming that off. And this is how he's looking. So now I'm just going in with this little banner, and I'm having it say Merry Christmas because the challenge is to also incorporate words. So I'm having this Christmas sign here, and I'm just drawing it on the drawing it with the pencil on a piece of paper first, just so I can get a little template of how it's going to be spaced. So when I write it on the felt, I know exactly how it's going to be laid out. So I'm using this as a little way to guide myself on where to place each letter so that nothing runs off the sides. And I'm using a little Sharpie to do this. And I'm purposely making the letters very straight edged because I'm going to go over them with my yarn. So that's all done there. So I'm just taking yarn and a big needle and threading that through, and then I'm just going to go over the straight lines of each letter with the yarn. And as you see, I'm just going through that, and then I'm crisscrossing all over in the back of it in order to cross over each of the lines for all the letters. So this process didn't take long at all, just because I had a good stencil for exactly where I was going to put the yarn over. And this is how that looks. And then on the back, I just glued down the excess strands and then cut them off. And that's it for that part. And then I got some sticks from outside, and I'm just gluing this little banner to the sticks. One stick across the top part and snapping that off. And then I'm going to glue the bottom of the banner to the other stick. And I'm going to snap that one off as well. So now it's time to start putting together the tray. So this is how the banner is looking before it's all assembled. And I'm just going to use this tray. I've used this before in a previous vignette, probably I think for the spring. So I had this fake snow looking stuff that I got a while ago from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just laying that in here, and I'm taking this little piece of styrofoam, obviously previously used, and cutting off a little chunk of that, and then I'm just going to glue that right into this little circle part of the tray here, and I'm going to cover that over with some of the fake snow, or this felt. I guess it's supposed to look like snow. And then I had these trees that I had previously purchased, I think last year, and I'm just putting those in the tray as well. And I'm making a little hole here and placing this other stick, this straight stick, and then I'm going to glue the banner right onto that stick. So I'm bringing the penguin back in, and he's going to be holding on to this little stick here to wish everyone Merry Christmas. And I'm just going to glue his hand around to look like he's holding on to it. And this is it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please feel free to check out the playlist below so you don't miss out on what everyone else did. And again, check out Denise Jordan's channel. She has some great ideas. She gives tips and advice. She does homemaking, home building things on her channel. So we're all getting ready for Christmas here. So this is my kitchen vignette, and this is on my kitchen table here. So I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.